Thank you, everybody. So today I'm going to speak about Medgold Resources, listed on the Toronto Venture Exchange and exploring for gold in Serbia. You're all familiar with disclosures of this kind, so I won't spend too long on this slide. I'll move straight on. So in summary, Medgold's been working in Serbia since 2016 when we secured a sizable land position. Serbia occurs, I'm going to show on a subsequent slide, on the prolific Tethyan belt in Central Europe. We've got 500 square kilometres. We've identified two very strong targets. We initiated drilling last year. We drilled 5,000 metres, and I'm going to explain in a little more detail what we've been able to find. But in summary, we've defined this zone that's 700 metres by 250 metres, running at about 2.7 grams at surface. We have an option agreement under which Fortuna Silver Mines, also of Vancouver, is spending $3 million to vest 51% of the project. They're about halfway through. And our project this year our drilling season this year is entirely financed by Fortuna Silver Mines. Initial flotation test work on the drilling that was done last year indicates a gold recovery of approximately 88% by conventional flotation means. So we're very excited about this, and above all, we're about to start drilling on June 3rd. So a little more about the company. We're capped at just under 12 million Canadian. We're trading at the lower end of our range at the moment. We haven't released much news, but that's about to change. I'm going to explain the kind of catalysts that you can expect from us. We've got 1.6 million in cash Canadian. There's about another 700 coming in from option payments. We're the operator of the option, and we make cash calls of Fortuna, and they put the money in the bank for us. Fully diluted 105 million shares. In terms of the team, this is one of Simon Ridgway's group of companies of Vancouver. Fortuna Silver Mines is of course one of those as well. Started in 2008, is now a mid-tier producer, about $500 million market cap. As for myself, I'm an exploration geologist. I've been in the business for about 25 years, about half of that in Africa and half between North America and Europe. Most recently, I ran also as president and CEO of Volcanic Gold Mines, which was exploring for gold in the West African nation of Guinea. Jeremy Martin and David Hall, very valuable board members. I was going to say Belvedere. I'm talking about the nickel play in South America. Mike Skeet, Director of Exploration Geology of Goldcorp. A word on Serbia. It's about the best fiscal regime that one can hope to operate within. 5% royalty on precious metals, 15% corporate income tax. From a logistical perspective, that orange road that you see running north-south, it's a 4 to 6 lane highway all the way down the entire length of the country. The logistics, the infrastructure and logistics are excellent. We've got power everywhere. There's railways everywhere. A highly educated workforce. A lot of Yugoslav state geological data available, and it's certainly been of great assistance to us. Moving on, Serbia sits fairly and squarely on the prolific Tethyan belt that extends, a very well mineralised belt with about 250 working mineral deposits on it that extends all the way from Slovakia down through the Balkans here through Turkey, culminating in Pakistan. There's clearly far too much information to speak about everything on these slides. It's available on our website, and please come by our booth if you want to talk about it some more. Some very prominent discoveries in the Bor district, recent transactions in which Nevsun was sold to Zijin, just a little way north of us. I don't know if I've got a pointer here, but you can see the Klemino project in southern Serbia. So we're a little distant from what's the more typically known zone of mineralisation in Serbia. However, between what's known in the Bor district and Olympias and Scouries of El Dorado just to our south, there's 12 million ounces of gold alone between those. The blue belt of Cretaceous rocks shown on this map is typically gold copper dominant, and where we are in the orange zone is more gold and base metal endowed. I'd like to move on to the project itself right now. Now, there's obviously a lot of information on this map as well. We've got two principal prospects. The one on the left, Karamanitsa, and the one on the right, Baria. The red layer that you're being shown there is gold in soil. The deep red colour is 0.15 ppm gold in soil, so you're approaching what some might even consider an ore grade cut-off in soil. And Karamanitsa, for example, is 2 kilometres by 2 kilometres. However, Barrier is what we've been working on, and I'm going to explain what we've done, why we're excited. So now, here we have Barrier. You can see that lozenge-shaped body to the north. It's actually mineralised in outcrop. It's a schist. It's mineralised in outcrop. Our drilling here has defined it's pre-resource stage, but for the simple reason that we're still drilling and we're not ready to actually prepare a resource. 700 metres east-west by 250 metres north-south. The mineralisation, it's mineralised in every single hole in that box. The mineralisation ranges in thickness between 10 and 30 metres at an average grade of about 2.6 to 2.7 grams. I would be breaking a lot of rules if I told you what our internal resource actually is, but you could probably work it out from roughly what I've just said. Now, we're particularly excited because of the exploration potential of this, so I'd like to just give a quick word on the geology itself. Very simply put, it's in a breccia. It's actually a hydrothermal breccia that occurs along the plane of a fault. I'm going to show some pictures of this. Now, very interestingly, to the south, you'll see this Liska zone. The points on the map are historic Yugoslav drill holes. Now, in the records that we've been able to access, and again, an illustration of the quality of historic records that are available to us, exactly the same kind of breccia is referred to at a grade of about 1 to 2% lead and zinc combined, and that's the approximate lead-zinc grade that we see in our drilling at Barrier. Now, these guys never analysed for gold in the past. So 2 weeks, actually yesterday, we're going to have a drill turning at Liska, and our objective is to re-drill this and to define, according to modern standards, this breccia that we believe to be the down-dip continuation of Barrier, but of course, much more importantly, to determine its gold content. Now, the reason you'll see the exploration target between the two, it's not shown on this map because it will get even busier still. We've done an IP survey, and there's actually a chargeability feature that goes between the two. For the geologists in the room, we believe clearly the gold, the lead, and the zinc associate with pyrite, so you're seeing a chargeable feature. So our drilling program will start at Liska, and then it will evolve north towards Barrier. We're very excited by this target, fully financed by Fortuna, fully permitted. We're about to go. This is what it looks like in a brief section. A lot of information there, but our best interval is 40 metres at 4 grams gold and about 150 grams silver, not including the base metals. Now, the yellow bars here indicate gold. The red unit is the breccia that I've been referring to that we believe to continue to the south. The wispy zone, the hanging wall there, actually is mineralised as well to the tune of about 1 gram. It's in a schist, so we're clearly in very good stripping ratio type situation. The mineralised discovery outcrop is shown in the left here. You can probably see the gossanisation, those of you familiar with that. Very nice breccia. I won't spend too much longer on that. Karamanitsa we haven't drilled yet, it's on the left. I've only got 2 minutes left, so I'll run through it very, very quickly indeed. Now, the salient points on this map are the Podvarovi mine, just shown in the bottom right-hand side of each of these window panes. It's a historic Yugoslav mine. The last reported resource was 2.2 million tonnes at 6% lead and zinc combined, 1% copper, and no reporting of the gold or the silver. It appears to be occurring along the plane of a structure. It's vertical in nature, and a private British-Serbian company has put it back into production. The slightly paler colour areas that you see is our land holding, and based on available historic data, we were very encouraged by the potential for Podvarovi to continue. So we completed an IP survey, which is what you're seeing in the colour map. The magenta colour there, which you can see appears to follow very closely the same strike, and we believe, therefore, the same structure as is giving rise to Podvarovi is the IP chargeability. The pink colour is about 30 millivolts per volt, so that's good by anybody's measure. Coincident with that are metals in soil. The leftmost map shows gold in soil. There's a reasonable coincidence between gold and the chargeability. You'll see two other clusters. These appear to be calc schist outcrops, which is a receptive formation. It gets more interesting when you look at antimony, which is the right-hand pane. And we know, because I know the guys from Podvarovia, they're actually producing marketable antimony. We see a close relationship between antimony and gold, so there's a close relationship between chargeability and antimony. The next slide shows lead, and clearly, given that Podvarovia is a lead deposit, this is encouraging. Silver's more widespread. This is it shown in oblique view. The Podvarovia structure, this is their mill building there, appears to pass through the valley, up along the side. We'll be drilling about 2,500 metres here, starting about 6 weeks from now. So in summary, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. 2 really exciting targets, fully funded, easy place to work, highly educated workforce, good logistics, good infrastructure. We're ready to go. Please follow our stock. There's lots of good news on the way. Thank you.